Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with my review for Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a title I received a review copy for from PlayStation, big thanks to them, a couple of days before launch, and since then I've been up to my ears in Horizon. Not because I was rushing to get my review done, but because I simply could not pull myself away. So before I get into any details on this title, I'd like to first off say Guerrilla Games, my foot is in my mouth. I was entirely wrong about this game. I called it, I thought it would be a flop, and I was so wrong, and I'm so happy I was wrong. I wanted to be wrong about this, and man, oh man, was I ever. So where do I begin with this awe-inspiring post-apocalyptic title? Its universe, it's instantly intriguing. It grabs you right away. It's loaded with rich lore, which I know Fallout fans are gonna love, and uncovering the mystery of the world that existed before will have your full attention the entire time. It will not let go because it's just so different from anything else you've ever seen in a video game before. The narrative told in Horizon manages to be both personal and broad. It focuses down on its characters, but involves them in the bigger problem. How the horrors of the past can haunt the present day and the future. Everything ties together beautifully. The universe is the best part of this game. Sure, I am a sucker for post-apocalyptic open worlds, that's no secret, but never have I seen one come about in this way. It is the most interesting open world game I've explored in a couple of years, and I believe that says a lot given how much I love this genre and how many open world titles I play. Its regions are insanely diverse, it has an astute attention to detail, and consistently blew my mind with its structures and scale. The environmental storytelling here is apparent. Why was this tank set up on this street? What street was this? Where am I exactly? Who destroyed the world? How did the world get destroyed? There are so many questions that are answered in full by the end of this title, but they are questions that intrigue you and push you forward throughout this game. Another strength is Aloy, a protagonist who we see grow and develop as the adventure progresses in both age and wisdom. The story is written by the lead creative designer Josh Gonzalez from Obsidian, now Guerrilla Games, who worked on Fallout New Vegas. I could probably stop right there as the writing speaks for itself, but let's keep going anyway. The story offers moral choices, and while they are few and far between, you do see some repercussions, which I think is great. Something I sadly found refreshing because, well, you don't see that much nowadays. Investing in side content also has a cool payoff in the end, which I found awesome. A greedy part of me wishes there were more choices, but I expected nothing in that department with this title, so I was pleasantly surprised to see a couple come my way. Still, Aloy and her supporting cast have a lot of strong moments throughout the entire narrative that will keep you invested in this story. But considering that the story and the universe I feel are the strongest aspects of the game, I'm just gonna leave the intrigue at that. Mechanics, on the other hand, don't overstay their welcome, which I think is a huge plus for this open world game. Yes, the game has side content such as climbing a tall neck and revealing a portion of the map, but there are only 5 of those. Yes, you can take out standard bandit camps, but there are only a handful of those as well. This is important because it allows Horizon to offer a wealth of content rather than beating you over the head with the same objective. You can tell that developer Guerrilla Games played a ton of different titles before and during the development of this game. You can see the inspiration taken, such as from Far Cry, Tomb Raider, Fallout, The Last of Us, and so on, but it always manages to be its own thing. Fortunately, this isn't the only side content offered. There are your side quests with intriguing stories, or, your standard fetch quests from time to time, but no single quest from the main to the side dragged on for too long or lost my attention, and I think that alone is very important as well. I cannot stress how important it is for open world titles with a focus on exploration to get ambient music right. Horizon Zero Dawn even managed to hit the nail on the head with this one. Getting the ambient music right invokes me with a sense of adventure and makes the moments where the visuals steal my breath all the more incredible. I'm not one for graphics, but this is the best looking open world title I have ever played on a console. A new standard has been set for my personal taste. Combat in general is a blast. You're switching weapons and ammo types on the fly or swinging up close and personal with your spear. There's also a lot of stealth moments that involve good precision. There are tons of enemy types with different weaknesses in both element as well as parts of their frame. It's difficult at times, but it's always enjoyable. Aloy can be spongy at times and get knocked around a bit too much, but I don't know what you can expect when you're getting run at by some robot remake of a real life animal who's weighing thousands of pounds and is probably gonna crush you. Also, this may sound like a no no-brainer, but the skill tree is actually useful in this game. I usually feel that this aspect in a lot of titles is tacked on, but as I upgraded my skills throughout the game, I actually felt more powerful and found more use for all the skills I was unlocking. After many minutes of praise, let's move on to some cons. There's no legend/specific mission selection on the map, making it sometimes hard to clear out objectives that you want to get rid of on your map, because then it becomes a lot more cluttered when you start unlocking collectible maps, which is another thing you can do in this game, where you can find yourself missing certain objectives because the game doesn't really specifically highlight them. Not a huge problem, but it does lead to you missing certain things or looking for one objective for far too long. Also, at times, this game becomes over-reliant on audio and text logs. I eat this kind of stuff up, but I think it can stunt some of the momentum with the story. I appreciate the added backstory, but I'm sure others might have qualms with this. From the technical aspect, this game runs fine with frame rate and all that stuff, but you will notice the occasional pop-in. It's pretty much expected with a game of this scale. Next is that with a game that offers a little bit of choice, I was confused at how many times control was taken away. At certain moments, the game wants me to put my personal stamp on Aloy and the choices that she can make, but at other times it wants me to kick back and let the game do its thing. Overall, I love the narrative, so don't get me wrong, but I did feel there was room for more choices throughout is all. One last thing is that you can customize the HUD in this game, as I discovered late game, so please don't make the same mistake I did, but there are times in the beginning where the HUD is literally cluttering half of your screen. Not an exaggeration, becoming so intrusive that I couldn't see where I was going for about 5 seconds. It sounds minor, but trust me, it can get irritating. That's pretty much my list of cons though. I just went on for many minutes about how amazing this game is, and I have a very short list of problems which are just personal qualms that really didn't detract from my experience at all. This is a title that all open world RPG developers will and must take a look at. It does a lot of incredible things, and after 30 hours of the title, I sit at about 52% completion and still have a lot of collectibles to gather and adventures I likely missed due to the scale of this game. Most of my cons, aside from the possible addition of choices, are just nitpicks. I'm noting them for critique's sake, so please just ignore them. Buy the damn game if you own a PS4. Horizon Zero Dawn will make Post-Apocalyptic fans incredibly happy in particular, but on that personal note aside, this is a game everyone can enjoy. Finally, a new IP that gets it right the first time, and we don't have to wait for a sequel to amend the mistakes. Haven't been able to say that much recently, but Horizon, thank you so much for an incredible experience. I'm sorry once again for doubting you, but I'm looking forward to diving back in, looking to get that 100% completion. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this review informative. If you have any questions about Horizon Zero Dawn, please fire away in the comments down below. I am more than willing to answer you guys as soon as I possibly can. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. The links are in the description, as well as my Patreon. Be sure to consider contributing to that, as it fuels all the content we create here. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.